Hello and welcome to another episode of the Electric Norwegian. I'm Mats, and today we have Robert. This, as you sure all can see, is the new Motorway, the so-called juniper version. It is a very heavy update. The existing structure is the same, but everything has been revised. Front is new with this slightly anodyne looking, but still cool looking light bar. And then you have these are still here. This is the headlight bit, so it's sort of interesting to see if the headlights have improved, because on the Model 3 the length of throw on the headlights decreased a little bit. Of course, the rest of it looks the same. The profile is the same. This is new, they've changed that. This part is now, you can take it off if you have a crash. Then you have the light here, which is gone off now. You can turn it on again. There. Yep, for the love of Jesus Christ. There. Of course, you have the light bar here, which throws light down and far behind the car when it's dark. And the whole thing here is new. The rear lights are new. The whole rear sub here is really new. And this now protrudes, so it takes the bump. It actually is a bumper. With the previous one it wasn't. You just took the whole thing with you. Oh, that sounds tinny, doesn't it? This here is new. The whole aperture area here. So the button is new. Feels better. This can now finally be put together, kind of packaged together somehow, and stored here. Also, you still have this massive, deep, it's a cavernous, big boot, this after all. And also you can put the seats up and down electrically, so you can adjust them. This flocking here I think is new, electric as usual. I love the rear end of this. It really looks good. Nokia Haka R5 tires, dual double glazing all over, dual tone black and white now, with some Alcantara like, no, not Alcantara, like textile like inserts. And this is sat. Robert had the same long legs as I do. I sit behind him. Sit comfortable.
Do you sit comfortable? Because I have put the seat all the way back.
Yeah, and you can probably move it forward by 5 centimeters and still have space.
Ow.
Big, huge door pockets. Yeah, no problem at all. And the seats here are on risers, so I can put my feet under the seat, no problem. Same screen as in the Model 3. New back seat here. Now it's like in a limousine.
Okay, because now I sit comfortable.
Okay, good. Perfect seats. Not cool, but heated. And of course you have the same kind of.
Have the length and
the seats are new.
Yeah, because I feel more.
And I also think they've changed the angle of the back here, because I have now my legs are now down on the seat. Of course, that has something to do with the fact that I can get them longer forward because I get them further on the seat. So you sit more correct in the back.
Can we ask the car to drive?
Plenty of space. Big, I think it's more or less the same as before. They've now moved the tow hitch to here, but that's okay. And then you have a drain plug. First time in the world in a Tesla. It's fabulous. Thank you, Ford, for doing that. I don't think it's thank Ford, but I choose to thank Ford for it. Anyway, this really feels tinny, but this is aluminium, so double glazing, same black and white stuff. I like it though. The new, I mean, decent sound on closing. The materials here feel properly good. Soft touch, not soft touch, but it's textile, so it isn't plastic. Good plastics and metals, soft touch, textile, soft.
I feel the doors are more compact.
And space is always massive, of course. And then the sound and the feel of the tactility of the things. Compare this to a modern BMW, which is just feels cheap and tinny. So here you don't feel that. This is a bit cheap, but that's the same thing in the Porsche I just tried, so there's nothing new there. Blinker stock, it's back. Some people say it's cheap. I think it feels upmarket. It feels properly expensive. It only blinks. There's no 3 blink option at all. So I'm driving, I do this thing because I'm used to the Model 3 now, so I do activate the wipers and all sorts of stuff because I forget that I have a stalk. But I must admit, bringing the stalk back was the right option, absolutely no doubt about it. Same as in the new Model 3, nice steering wheel, nice to touch, it feels good quality, nice diameter, all that stuff. Spacious with 78%. This is the long range version. Let's just see if I can get the energy graph up. It estimates 322 kilometers as an estimate. Okay, so let's just tell it to go to Berlin. Fun. Berlin. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stops. The estimated and you arrive in Berlin was 10%. Okay.
But let's say
that's what is that? That's 10 hours of driving, isn't it?
Yeah, more than that. Well, no.
It isn't.
What?
It actually isn't. It's less than that.
It's 10 hours.
10 hours.
But
so, yeah.
Let's say if we're going to go to this place we're going to this summer.
No problem.
And the funny thing, that ferry doesn't go this summer.
No, but it doesn't really matter. You get there with 2 chargers probably.
Yeah, we are going to do it with 2 chargers.
What do you think of the new interior?
I like it. What's new?
No,
well, I think the doors were more compact.
What do you mean compact?
I feel they're not that fluffy, sort of. They're not. It's like
they feel better quality.
Yeah, and it's a seat cushion. I feel it's better because now I sit like and you have the good space in the back.
Plenty of space in the back.
Yeah, and
do this. Yeah. All right. Go back. It changes, so I can go back. Go front. Huh? Same but different. Yes.
Yeah. You know, they have had this for, I think, a man's age, because we have 2 eyes.
Yeah, but it's hard to know exactly what's in the front of the car. And also, this is the dual motor, so it's quite powerful. But another thing that strikes you, if I shut up for a minute, is really quiet in there. Like really quiet. Suspension is good. It's not quite as soft as the initial impact of the manual covers that I would hope it would be. But now it's properly refined. It isn't set up by a 12-year-old anymore.
You're gonna say put it to test it right away?
Probably.
The suspension?
It handles bridge joints much better than before. And it still feels tight and sporty, and you can toss it into a curve. But it isn't crashy and terrible. We have green. There, I know. We have go. This is a terrible road because it's been dug up and it's just temporary, full of holes. You know what? I just came out of the Citroën the C3, the small French car, and I said it just swallows this. This isn't French, so it doesn't do the same thing, but it's not that far off, considering it weighs 600 kilos more, because I would imagine this weighs around 2 tons. There's some lean in the suspension, but there's not much, and it just, and it's so much quieter. It's just let's take it out on the motorway and see what it sounds like there. Now we're on the motorway. We've been on the motorway for a while actually. I just had turned around. There's some rattling coming from the rear hatch. I think it's from the rear hatch. Could be something being loose somewhere, lying in the car. I haven't seen anything. Don't know. I must say the indicators don't. The way it's weighted and the springiness of it is just right. It's not light as a feather, so you have to have it has some resistance to it, so that you don't just accidentally brush it and then it starts indicating, because that's really not good. It has a very, very quality weighting to it and a tactility to it, which I like. It doesn't do anything other than blinking, which is a bit daft when you're going to put something back in, but it is what it is. There is some noise levels in here though. It's not bad, and it is a windy day, so it's a bit of wind noise, it's some tire noise. But it's not droning, and it's not tiring. And they have motorway speeds. And I'm not going to try to whisper, because that would be daft, but it really is much improved over the previous car. Oh, what's that thingy? Cool looking Peugeot. Nice color as well. We are doing a fairly alright speed now, come to think of it. When I look at it, the car becomes quiet, so you don't really notice the speed so much. And also you have the same heated and cooled seats as standard, of course, as you do in the Model 3. All this stuff. Also the LED interior light that just ties the interior together in this nice way. It's included here in a slightly different way actually, because it's split the upper door side in 2 different materials. But the joint, the fit and finish in this one, if you look at the materials and look at the seams and you look at the joints and stuff, it really, really looks good. Yes, there's a few pieces right here in my head. Mr. Crickhampton from Sandy Monroe analyzing the interior, going, oh well, that seam isn't quite straight, and it's absolutely right about it. But this is a long, very straight seam, and things can happen, and it's not a Tesla issue; it's a general issue. That's why you normally avoid having long seams like that. It isn't an S-Class. It's not meant to be an S-Class. There is still some noise coming from the rear, given that this is a hatchback, this is a crossover after all. There is some resonance noise and some vibration coming through the hatch, I think. But though you only notice it occasionally, it's not a problem most of the time. The crashiness, particularly from the rear subframe, is gone entirely, because it felt like the car was supposed to break down completely every time you went over a manhole cover or a joint somewhere or something. It's a bit of speed, it just collapsed in the rear suspension, just a big bang. That's gone entirely, and everything feels much more coherent and more of one piece now, and much more high quality. But how are the noise levels, do you think?
Well, I had a phone conversation, and she didn't hear I was in the car.
There's some tire noise still though. But
yeah, some, but it's not bothersome. Where the car you mentioned, the Citroën, those seats were not good.
I loved them.
No, they were too thin. They were too small. I have a big ass. But this seats it's very comfortable. They have support.
This is the car that you should have just made from day one. Of course, they used far less time changing the Model Y than they did changing the Model 3, because the Model 3 program pre-prod started in 2016, I think. didn't change it until what, 23, late 23, yeah, something like that. So it took them almost 6 years. In this case, it's gone quite faster, quite a lot quicker.
But I have a very silly question. Maybe you have said it. Is this a Berlin car?
Yeah, this is a Berlin car. I don't know if this might be a US production, but I assume it's a Berlin car because what they did now, and they never done this before, they've changed the production lines on all 3 gigafactories at once, more or less at the same time, which should be a logistical nightmare because normally you change it at one factory at a time, simply to give your partners and the rest of your logistics time to change over their productions of all the parts that goes into this car. There's quite a lot of parts that go into these cars, and you have your line of deliverers and of subsystems and stuff, and all of those things have to be changed over, and you have to make the entire thing ready to go into production. But like I said, this car has a reduced regen, and it's really good. It's not as sharp. Naturally, it's reduced, but outside of a city environment where you need often sharper reduction in speed, and you need to have more red lights, and you have roundabouts, and you have all the outside of that in kind of a motorway environment, and like here on the open road, you a bit like my car, my rear-wheel drive Model 3 on the autobahn. When I go off the throttle, you barely notice it. It does take down the speed, but it's so soft that you don't really notice it. It's very, very comfortable. The same thing here. You go off the throttle and it reduces the speed, but in a much more controlled way, less abrupt. And now it goes into full stop, and now we have hold mode on. Just wish the initial response of the suspension were a little bit softer on roads like this, because these are really bad, broken tarmac and asphalt. It's just the wind has been bad with it. There's lumps and bumps everywhere. Hello, horsey. But it still handles it very, very well. It's just that over some surfaces, very few, you wish it was a little bit softer. But it's not a big issue. It's just some manhole covers, some bridge joints, and some holes in the road like this.
Now you did what everybody should do when they beat horses.
Yeah, take the speed down and you're not scared. Of course, that said, this is an electric car. Electric cars don't scare animals.
No.
In the same way, because they don't have that noise.
No.
So you can almost drive into the animal and pet it before it moves. Almost, mind you. Don't try it. Don't try it at home. It's to be kicked or eaten or killed or something.
But they don't like the speed.
No, that's probably true. The rear, I must say, I'm in love with that rear light.
The rear. When I saw it the first time,
yeah.
Has it gotten any inspiration from the Cybertruck?
Probably yes, and also that stupid taxi thing they built, where they have this light. But this is a light bar. But this is an inverted light bar in the sense that the light bar doesn't. It shines into a surface and then it's reflected downwards again. So that's what makes this different from any other light bar in the history of the world.
Mm. Yeah, because when I saw the that was not a look. It was only a sign. When I saw the a horsey again. When I saw the back end of the car, I thought, has this an inspiration from the Cybertruck? Because
yeah, also the front with the light bar and stuff. This kind of seems that the design, the way they're going now. I heard a podcast recently with Franz von Holzhausen, the design chief of Tesla. He's been there now for 16 years or so. He and Lars Morave is one of the really old horses there now. Speaking of horses, but he was explaining a little bit of what they did and why they did it, and as he said, we listen to our customers and we take feedback. I must say, like this reduced region. It depends on the situation, of course. In some situations, I would like to have the standard more powerful region, but like out here, it fits quite nicely.
There's a stalk, not a button.
Yeah, and also the
I have watched you. I have watched you while we have been driving, and I see you want to
push the button instead.
You want to push the
yeah.
button and don't just
So I forgot to mention the sound system. It's very good and much improved. Well, they've always been very good, but because the car is quite heavy, it's easy to make a good sound system in it. And once again, Tesla delivers.
Now it's raining as well, and I must say the auto wipers work rather well. Sum it all up, it's the same but better. Much as in the new Model 3, it's the Model Y as you know it. It's with much better material quality, fit finish, noise levels are lower, the suspension is much more refined and much better. Is it perfect? No, but it's much better. It's more or less on par noise-wise with, for instance, the Porsche Taycan that was out tested. That wasn't a confident when it comes to noise levels either. So it's quite good even at high speeds, even though I haven't tested properly high speeds because we're not in Germany and I'm not doing that. And you have other small improvements like the electric rear seats and so on. The LED interior light and the nice softer materials and the color choices and stuff. I must say also I like this white interior. It's all in all very good package. As in all Teslas, it's energy efficient. We've averaged so far a consumption of 189 watt hours, which is quite decent. I didn't get the Porsche to go that low. The Porsche was a slightly raised station wagon after all. There you have it. They have a gearbox to say they reduce energy consumption. This doesn't. Anything I've forgotten, Robert?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I just forgot to say thank you to Tesla Sarpsborg for lending me the car and giving me all this time with it.
Yeah. You were supposed to only get 30 minutes, and now you have had it for almost 2 hours. So.
Yep, and now I have to speed up because I have a car to deliver.
Well,
Other than that,
I feel you won't be disappointed. I like this car, and they have improved the things that they needed to improve, but not more than that, and it's okay.
So what do we say then?
Like this video if you have liked it, comment if you have something to say about this video, and of course subscribe to the channel. That would be very appreciated.
Yeah, please share as well. So
yeah, and share.
see you in another video. Take care everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.